Hey people, so this is a response video. It's not something I usually do, but what the hell? It's a little bit different, so I'm just gonna try it. It's regarding my video entitled Elon Musk Does Not Speak for Me. Made a few days ago. It's got 433 views at the time of looking. Um, Clearly I've triggered a lot of Elon Musk fanboys and fangirls because based on the comments, they cannot stand. They absolutely cannot stand someone daring to criticize their idol. Um, and so this is my response to them. I could make a generic response, but I'm going to call them out individually because why not? You know, if these faceless trolls, which most of them are, think they can come to my channel, why should I not have a little pushback? Why not? I remove a few particularly vitriolic ones because they just don't deserve any platform. But you know, some of the others have kept up just to expose what the total lack of substance that these people have. Firstly, clarification on my video. I was speaking for myself. I wasn't claiming to speak for everyone. I was very honest. I was speaking for myself. And I'm as much entitled to my opinions as anyone else. I'm as much entitled to my opinions as you lot are. So that's just obvious. Um, Not all the comments were negative. There are a few supportive comments, but I'll be honest. The ratio on this one is more critical of my take, and that's fine. You win some, you lose some. The vast majority of responses on my channel are positive, but you know, this is just one of those ones where I've triggered people who disagree with me. Now, to be clear, people are allowed to disagree with me, but there's a difference between disagreeing and coming up with a reasonable argument versus just being um, a troll with no substance. You know, if your entire argument is just insulting people, you've got nothing. You have absolutely nothing. And I'm going to expose you in this video. Um, Although it probably would make little difference because likely half of them are fake accounts anyway, or they've got nothing of substance to show. So, you know, unlike me, most of these people won't show their face. Um, does it bother me? A little bit. If I'm honest, it does bother me a little bit. But I'm more sympathetic to these people than I am annoyed by them. Sympathetic because what's it like to basically inject so much faith, blind faith, and trust in one individual? That's just, to me, that's a personality cult. And you know what? If there were echo chambers supporting Keir Starmer, I would be saying exactly the same thing. So, as a matter of clarity, some of you seem to think I was making that video to be a big cheerleader for Keir Starmer. No, I was just being fair. I was just saying that unlike Elon Musk, Keir Starmer did actually have a Democratic mandate. That doesn't mean that I agree with everything Keir Starmer says or does. Quite the opposite. In fact, I've been very critical of some aspects of the Labour government. And frankly, if you're too stupid to consider the other things I've said, if you're just going to home in on one little thing I've said because you want to cherry pick and it suits your agenda, that's fine. But I hold my head high with everything I've said on this channel. And without further ado, I'm going to call these people out because they, like I say, they've no substance. I'm not going to delete the comments, but it would be tiresome to go through all of them anyway. But here we go. And this obviously isn't aimed at those who are being more mature or who agree with me, but here we go. Mr. Cameroland, we love Elon, GB, GB, GB. It's got a little heart there. That's very nice, Cameroland, but you do not speak for 68 million British people. And how arrogant that you think that you do. So, yeah, that's rather sad. Absolved soul. Just the fact that we have a democracy is hilarious for my part. As for misinformation and the dangers of it, do you not think that the mainstream media are more of a danger than Musk? More of a danger? No. I've been very clear regarding the mainstream media, and again, this is one of those things where people attack me whilst ignoring my other videos. I have often criticised the BBC, CNN. I was very critical of the BBC and their handling of the Hugh Edwards thing, for example. So if you're trying to pigeonhole me as something like, you're just a shill for the mainstream media, something like that, you're going to look foolish because I have been absolutely honest on these things. I've always spoken out as consistently as I can. So, that's ridiculous to say that. I mean, this idea that I have to mention absolutely everything in one video just to prove myself is nonsense. But yeah, I have criticized the mainstream media. Sound Texture 3193. PNAC is in full force here. Honestly, I don't entirely know what that means, but I don't really care. Obviously, it's another person who's critical of me, but they've got nothing of substance to add. Keith Williams, this one's funny. Keith Williams, 1243. Bell End. Well, fuck you too, Keith Williams. That's all I've got to say to you. I mean, really, that's a sort of lightweight, vacuous nonsense that I have to deal with. And someone who's responded to him, Alt Vamp, has also said, I thought this as soon as I saw his face. Well, here's my handsome face. Fuck you both. I mean, at least I've got a channel. At least channel. Might be a small channel, but it's a decent channel. Lad Glasgow, not even watching this because if Elon isn't speaking up for you in the UK, then who is? Yes, lad Glasgow, let's all follow Elon, let him be our shepherd to liberation. Ah, I don't even know where to start with that one because it reiterates this point of personality cults that I'm talking about, where people put so much blind faith in an individual. So you hypocrites say that, oh, you can't believe a word the mainstream media says, and yet you're happy to blindly believe everything Elon Musk says, even though it's been proven that he has spread falsehoods. For instance, about the rioters this summer, he said they were sent to the Falklands. It simply did not happen. It didn't happen. That's not a question of perspective. It did not happen. Okay? Um, Mike Ralph, 1362. Shame, I don't think anyone cares. Elon is number one. You should become a cheerleader, Mike Ralph. You might be good at it. But yeah, again, zero substance there. And obviously, you do care if you're commenting. So, that's a bit of an own goal. Christian Prince subscriber. Yeah, but you use his name. You use his name in the title to get views. LOL. Well, that's stupid because I'm talking about him. Obviously, I'm going to use his name. When I make videos, I don't know which ones will get views and which don't. This is a small channel, so my average viewership's perhaps 60, 70. This one's got a bit more. I've no idea which videos will get traction and which won't. I use his name because the video's about him. Of course, I'm going to use his name. Are you really making the delusional argument that only fans of Elon Musk are allowed to use his name? What should the penalty be for me using his name? That's a stupid argument. But then again, most of these trolling comments are stupid arguments if there even is an argument. I'm not going to read out the ones that are a little bit more substance. There's a few people who disagree with me. I'm not going to, but that's fine. I've always said people could disagree with me. Graham Hurst, 3755. What a knob. He's not mentioning Musk, so it's obviously referring to me. That's just what a childish, lightweight comment from Graham Hurst, 3755. It genuinely doesn't bother me because anyone with any sense can see how lightweight that is. Just for balance, we'll read out a few of the positive ones. I mean, that is ostensibly agreeing with me or ostensibly being open minded, at least. It's not about agreeing with me, it's just about being reasonable. Octave Doctor, he's another Muppet on the world stage. Um, well, I mean, yeah, I think Musk is. I don't think he's stupid. I think he does have a lot of intelligence, but it's reasonable to ask why he's forayed into politics in the way that other billionaires don't. It's a valid question. Catherine Stevens, 6528. This one's interesting. We get it. He is rich. Well, yeah, I do emphasize the fact he's the richest man in the world. He's not just rich, okay? Let's be clear about this. He's the richest man in the world. And then Catherine goes on to say, You're so boring. Get to the point. Well, I'm not even going to waste time on your channel, Catherine, because I know you will have nothing there. Okay, so it's a bit rich for someone who has zero content to criticize someone who at least has something. Also, if you think the channel's so boring, no one is forcing you to watch it. So you look foolish with that statement. The point about Musk being rich, there's other billionaires in the world. I've been critical of Jeff Bezos because of Amazon's track record and how it treats its employees. Um, but the Gates, I think they've done a lot of good things with the wealth. I don't consider myself a socialist. I'm not anti-wealth for its own sake. But you can't compare Musk to just a regular rich person. Elon Musk is eye-wateringly rich, okay? Of course it has relevance. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to think that the richest man in the world backing a presidential candidate has no relevance? It's just, oh, by the by, he happens to be rich. Come off it. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. But for clarity, it's got nothing to do with jealousy as actually, I think someone else wrote that. I genuinely don't want Musk's wealth. I would not want the weight of responsibility that that sort of wealth brings. Would I like to be rich? Sure. So would you lot, you absolute hypocrites. But it's not about the wealth thing is part of it, but that's not my central argument. My central argument is the lack of critical thinking in putting so much trust into one individual as you lot do. It's pathetic. I'm not the one sort of following the crowd and saying this guy is absolutely the truth teller and everyone else, all the mainstream media, they're all liars. But Elon Musk tells it like it is, even though he's been proven to tell lies. It's just an empirical fact. That isn't my opinion, that is a fact. He said that rioters were sent to the Falklands, they were not sent to the Falklands. And I do think it's concerning. The central theme of my video was that it's concerning that so many people blindly believe Elon Musk and don't seem to care about the impact that has. I mean, Elon Musk wasn't the one picking up the glass. In my city, and I know you lot don't care, but I'm talking here to the people who do support me. There were rioters actually trying to pick up pieces of headstones for the police. And this is the event that Elon Musk was spreading lies about. So, yeah, I am critical of Elon Musk. And this idea that I should keep my mouth shut because he's rich and powerful, that's a deranged logic. And I'm not going to keep quiet. Musk knows that if he blocks different opinions on X, he will, look like a hypocrite. So he's not going to do that. But you know something? I don't even. It's not even a case that I disagree with everything he says. I mean, George Galloway has sued Elon Musk for calling him a Russian propagandist, and he won that case in Dublin. I don't think he should have. I think Galloway is a Russian propagandist, so Musk is right to label his channel that way, his account that way. So I don't disagree with everything Musk says. I do, though, question the influence he has on politics. I do question. I mean, I think he's probably got Trump on strings. That's just my feeling. Um, I mean, how naive do you have to be to not make a correlation between the richest man in the world and the president elect? That there is that's somehow irrelevant. And I can be absolutely sure that these hypocrites, if Musk were to back Kamala Harris, they would be lining up to dig into their conspiracy theories. So spare me your hypocrisy. Dolphin Liam 888, what's your point? More of a point than you, Dolphin Liam 888. So that's it. There were a few others that I deleted because I don't need to put up with vitriolic personal abuse. I just don't have to put up with that. This is more tame compared to some of the stuff that I had to read. And these people they're lightweights. They've got nothing to say. I didn't read out the ones that I thought had a bit more substance because they do. I have more respect for those comments. I respect people who disagree with me if you're going to produce a reasonable argument. And if you talk to me in a civil way, I will talk to you in a civil way. But if you come to my channel and throw out insults at me, I'm going to do a fuck you right back. That's the way I operate. Because I really have a low opinion of people who have nothing to show for themselves, who have no channel content, and yet spend their time trolling small channels like mine. It's pathetic. Um, Elon Musk is a hugely powerful and influential person. I therefore believe it is valid to question him. I'll agree with him when that's appropriate, but I just think it's this mindset of a guy who isn't even a British citizen gets to speak for the UK is ridiculous. He can have his opinions on the UK. But I would say a lot of the Conservatives who support Musk, um, they're hypocrites because if you had a left wing celebrity, or let's say a left leaning billionaire, um, say someone who support Kamala Harris, and they came out and criticised the UK, you could be damn sure these people would be telling them to mind their own business and they'd be getting into nativist sentiment. Why is it okay for Elon Musk to do that? I am not. I wasn't speaking as a supporter of Keir Starmer. I was simply saying that why should Keir Starmer have to answer to Elon Musk? Keir Starmer should answer to the British people, yes, but he shouldn't have to answer to Elon Musk. And if you think he should, you're deranged. That is a absurd logic. Do you really want the British Prime Minister, whether you like him or not, to be subservient to the richest man in the world to just grovel to whatever Musk wants? Is that what you want? How is that being independent or sovereign or whatever way you look at it? It's ridiculous. Um, anyway, I'll leave it there. But this is my message to the Musk fanboys and fangirls. Clearly, I triggered you people. Clearly, your tiny little minds cannot handle someone thinking outside the box. Clearly, you talk about mainstream media, and yet you lot are jumping on the bandwagon. You lot are being mainstream by going into Elon Musk's echo chamber, disagreeing with everything he says. So it's a bit rich to accuse me of being closed-minded. Um, I'll agree with Musk, excuse me, Musk when I agree with him, but I do think there's legitimate questions, and I'm not the only one. Many, many, many people in this country are skeptical of Elon Musk, um, and their opinions are just as valid as yours are. So it's this blind, subservient attitude that I think is so pathetic. I mean, dignity, have some dignity for goodness sake.